fucking vlogging, baby. For the past month, I have been trying my very best to learn drums for the first time. As you can see, I am still far from perfect, but I have been having a ton of fun. It's been absolutely awesome to try a brand new instrument I've never tried before and be absolutely terrible at it and have that be totally fine. It's been a totally fun experience revisiting a bunch of old songs I haven't really listened to since high school, because a lot of the songs that were easy on guitar are also easy on drums. Imagine that. Whoa. So the way that I've been learning drums so far is by playing a little game called Clone Hero. If you've never heard of Clone Hero, what it is essentially a fan-made remake of the popular game from the 2000s called Rock Band. So if you're watching this channel, you probably already know what Rock Band or Guitar Hero was, because like me, you were probably also addicted to it when you were in high school. So anyways, essentially somebody has created a fan-made version of the game, and there is a massive community online who basically made their own custom charts for almost any song you can possibly think of, which is a really fun way to learn drums, because you can actually plug in a real e-kit to the game via MIDI and play along with real drums. So by playing the game, you're actually playing real drums, and the skills are transferable to some degree. So essentially I have my e-kit, which is the Roland TD27KV2, which I got from Sweetwater, plugged directly into my MacBook with a USB cable, and it's basically just reading what I'm playing as MIDI, transferring it to the game, and making sure I'm actually hitting stuff more or less on time. You can use this game with any e-kit, by the way. This e-kit in particular is pretty expensive and out there, and I still can't believe I have it. I have to give a massive thank you to Sweetwater for giving this, not guitar kit, drum kit to me. I'm so used to saying guitar. Yeah, I have to give Sweetwater a massive thank you for giving me this kit. Basically, I did an event with Jared Dines and a bunch of other friends back in September called Jam House. If you haven't seen it, please go check it out. But yeah, Sweetwater sent these drum kits to us to use for that event, and at the end of the event, basically, they were like, it's gonna cost us too much to ship it back, so just keep it. Enjoy the new drum kit. I've never owned a drum kit in my life, so I am beyond spoiled that this is my first one. It is stupidly nice. So this video isn't really sponsored by Sweetwater, but I definitely have to give them a thank you. And obviously, as you know, if you've watched my channel, if you're gonna buy any music gear, go buy it from Sweetwater. Use my affiliate link. It's in the description and the comment below. But yeah, with that being said, you can totally play this game with any e-kit on the market. If it's not supported by the game by default, you can map each color to whatever symbol or pad you want. I also noticed after touring with a bunch of bands now with my band Carcosa, a lot of drummers from other bands also loved playing this game when they were younger, and for some of them it's what got them interested in learning drums in the first place, and a lot of them also said that the skills they learned playing Rock Band did help them with playing real drums, so it all kind of just made sense to me to start learning this way. Clone Hero definitely isn't perfect. It's not going to teach you techniques, as you'll see when I play. My stick technique and my grip, all that stuff is probably definitely not perfect, because I'm kind of just mashing away at things in the way that makes sense to me. I've pretty much looked up 0 actual tutorials on how to play drums, because I know myself, I know how impatient I am, and if I was to try to learn drums by watching step-by-step video tutorials of all the basics, the fundamentals, the theory, I would get bored within like 2 seconds and just give up, honestly. Not saying that's a good thing, but if you're like me and you're more of like a visual learner or somebody who has to, you know, learn by experience, that is why I chose to learn it this way. Now that I'm more comfortable with it, and I clearly am enjoying it, now I'm more interested in trying to learn the actual hows and whys and techniques and getting better. So my goal for this video was to spend a month with this drum kit, and at the end of this month my goal was to be able to play a full song. Now, I can play a full song. It's definitely not perfect. There's a couple notes that I missed, but I'm gonna play a full song at the end of this video, so stick around if you're interested in hearing how I did. So going back to Clone Hero a little bit, there are definitely a few shortcomings with it that I'm now noticing after I've been playing it for about a month. For example, the blue symbol, which in my case is the ride symbol, is kind of just used as like a catch-all symbol. Anything that's not a crash is just always put on the blue for some reason, almost always. So it's a little bit weird when you're playing a song. It's gonna like use the blue symbol as like an open hi-hat rather than the yellow, even though all the other hi-hats are on the yellow. Or like sometimes like a China symbol is the ride symbol, stuff like that. It's definitely not perfect. Again, these are fan-made charts, which I am very thankful that people are willing to invest their time into making these, because otherwise I would have no idea how to do it. So, you know, definitely big thank you to those of you who are watching this who might chart songs. It's awesome. But a lot of people who chart also don't know how to play drums, so obviously the charts are made more for fun and not necessarily the way I'm using it, which is as a actual tool for learning how to play a song. So you got to kind of keep that in mind when you're learning songs from the game, is they're not usually going to be how the song is actually played, but it's going to be kind of close enough to get you in the ballpark. So for example, the song that I'm going to play at the end of this video is called Miss Murder by AFI, and you're going to notice that it uses the blue symbol as a second crash rather than the left crash, because there's only support for one crash, for example. It's also using the second rack tom for almost all the toms rather than the floor tom for some reason. I don't know why. So it's kind of weird, because I'm like, if in order to do well in the game, I have to purposely play the song wrong, even though I can hear that that is not how the song is actually played. So again, it's useful for getting the timing and the feel of a song, but not necessarily what is actually going on in the song. So just something to keep in mind if you are going to try this for yourself. The good thing about Clone here, though, is that you can map every piece of your drum kit to be whatever you want. So in my case, for example, because I have two crash symbols, I wanted to be able to use both, so I just was able to assign both of them to be green. So that way, when I'm playing, I can at least use both of them and they will respond accordingly in the game. And you can do stuff like that. But anyways, with all that being said, the point of this video was just a fun little one for me. I don't know how long I'm going to stick with drums. I hope I keep playing them because they have been a lot of fun. So either this is going to be a really fun video for me, if nobody else, to look back at in like a year from now and be like, oh wow, I used to be horrible at this. Or maybe a year from now, I will have completely forgotten about drums and be like, oh yeah, remember that thing I said I was going to try? So I guess we'll see about a year from now. But for now, I just wanted to do a little month-long check-in vlog thing. And for those of you out there that have been curious to try learning drums for yourself, maybe some of this information is useful to you as well. So with all that being said, here is my first ever drum cover. It's not perfect, but it was a lot of fun. It is a song called Miss Murder by AFI. Like I said, some of the cymbals and the toms might be a little bit off according to what the actual song is supposed to be doing, but I'm gonna shut up now and just play the song. So here's how we did.